That person you despise is a secret roadmap to the most powerful part of yourself you have been hiding. Think about someone who gets under your skin. Maybe it is a coworker whose loud confidence feels like nails on a chalkboard. Or a public figure whose relentless positivity seems completely fake. We all have these people. You probably think you have a personality clash or that they are genuinely a bad person. But what if that intense emotional reaction is not about them at all? What if it is a critical message from the deepest part of your own mind? This is not just a simple annoyance. It is a flashing red light from your psyche. Ignoring it is keeping you from your full potential. The legendary psychologist Carl Jung was obsessed with this phenomenon. After his famous break with Sigmund Freud, Jung developed a map of the human psyche. One of his most vital discoveries was the shadow. The shadow is everything you are but do not want to be. It is the collection of traits, desires, and impulses you have disowned because they did not fit the conscious image of yourself. It is your repressed laziness, your hidden arrogance, your secret insecurity. And because the ego cannot bear to look at it, it uses a powerful defense mechanism to get rid of it. This is called projection. Jung wrote, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Projection is when your mind takes a trait you cannot accept in yourself and superimposes it onto someone else. You do not see them as they are. You see them through the filter of your own disowned self. That coworker you find unbearably arrogant. Your reaction might be so strong because you have repressed your own ambition. You were taught that wanting recognition is bad, so you buried that desire deep in your shadow. When you see it in him, your psyche screams no to police that trait and keep it buried. Or what about the friend you judge for being weak and playing the victim? Perhaps you are projecting the part of you that is terrified of asking for help. It is the part you have labeled as weak and refuse to acknowledge. By attacking it in them, your ego feels strong and self-sufficient, but you are actually cutting yourself off from vulnerability and connection. This mechanism is one of the biggest obstacles to self-awareness. Let us look at a case study. Think of a guy named Mark. Mark is a disciplined, hard-working software engineer who prides himself on logic and efficiency. He cannot stand the new marketing lead, Sarah. He sees her as a phony schmoozer who gets by on charm and networking instead of real skill. In meetings, her confident storytelling makes his blood boil. He sees it as manipulative and superficial. But the intensity of his hatred is a clue. This is not just a professional disagreement. He is projecting. Mark's shadow contains his own undeveloped social and emotional intelligence. He was raised to believe that only raw data and hard work have value, so he repressed his own need for connection and social ease. Sarah does not just represent a different working style. She represents the part of himself he has starved and demonized. His intense irritation is his own psyche showing him exactly where he needs to grow to become a more complete, integrated human being. This process, Jung called individuation. His hatred for Sarah is a compass pointing directly at his own gold. So how do you find your own gold? You perform a projection inventory. It is simple, but it is not easy. First, identify the target. Think of a person who triggers a strong, irrational, negative reaction in you. Write their name down. Second, isolate the trait. Get specific. What exactly about them infuriates you? Is it their neediness, their arrogance, their fakeness? Write down that single word. Third, and this is the hardest part, flip the script. Ask yourself, where in my life, even just 1% of the time, do I exhibit this exact same trait? Or where in my life am I deeply afraid of being perceived this way? You have to be brutally honest. When you find it, you will not feel good. You will feel a jolt of discomfort. That is how you know you have struck gold. This is not about blaming yourself. It is about reclaiming a lost piece of your power. It is the first step in making the darkness conscious. Subscribe for weekly wisdom, combining ancient philosophy with modern psychology. Gain practical insights for living with depth and purpose.